Hello, weirdos. It is Thursday again. I'm Mackenzie, and I am joined, as always, by...
I'm Chris.
And I'm Sarah.
And this podcast is for weirdos.
Hey, Mackenzie, what are we talking about?
Today.
Today?
Not tomorrow.
Today.
Right now,
right
this second.
Now, this second. We are going to talk about a cryptid.
Ooh.
A little dude.
A
little guy.
We're going to talk about the saddest cryptid of them all, the Squonk.
Squonk!
Oh,
What do you know about the Squonk?
he's a fucked up little guy.
He'd cry all the time.
He does cry.
He make
Him
puddle
cry.
with his cry.
Him cry.
cry.
Him cry.
That's
I know
it.
about Squonkapalooza
Okay.
because I've gotten an advertisement for it 2 years in a row. There's one on the wall behind Christopher. It's where the blue alien is. Nope. Towards
Blue
me. Towards
alien.
Mackenzie more.
Blue alien.
Blue alien on the wall. Up. Behind that. Yep.
It's not on either camera.
Perfect. It is there. And I think there might also be one on mine, but that's also probably not where it can be seen. But, oh, nope. Maybe. I don't know if you can see the thing that says the dark beneath on my camera, but right above that is Squonkapalooza.
Anyhoomst. Shall I tell you about the Squonk?
Yeah.
Tell us about Squonk. I don't actually know that a ton about it. I know that it's sad and, like, pink and cries.
Like
Okay.
a pig or something.
So the first written account of the Squonk
The first one.
comes from the 1910
Oh.
book Fearsome Creatures of the Lumberwoods.
Ooh.
I need you to know,
Fearsome?
if anybody's wondering, unless we chatter a bunch, this is not going to be very long. And everybody's just going to not have to be upset with me about it.
This is a shorty.
Okay?
It's
We're
short.
just going to set the expectation, and now we're going to talk for an hour and a half. But I'm setting the expectation. It's not a very long episode. I don't have
See,
a lot of content.
We don't know how long it is right now.
We don't. I'm just saying.
They do.
They do know how long it is.
The
Them
watchers
in the
and
future,
listeners, they know.
they know.
So this provenance was continued, attested to, in the next iteration, a 1939 book called Fearsome Critters.
Okay.
This
Critters.
book suggested that the creatures had migrated from the from deserts to swamps, and to finally settle in Pennsylvania. As logging camps were continuously moving in the early 20th century, this could explain their migration to Pennsylvania. They're
Okay.
found only in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Oh my god.
And,
I
like,
wonder if they're in one of my Pennsylvania books.
Maybe.
This starts the blurb
From the book.
from the book, the
Critters
1910 book.
Oh, the
Fearsome.
creatures.
This is the very first
This is the first writing.
writing. I'm going to read you the paragraph originally written about the Squonk
Neat.
Tell
from
me.
1910.
Tell me about that
Okay.
Squonk.
So, the range of the Squonk is very limited. Few people outside of Pennsylvania have ever heard of the quaint beast, which is said to be fairly common in the hemlock forests of that state. The Squonk is of a very retiring disposition, generally traveling at about twilight and dusk. Because of its misfitting skin, which is covered with warts and moles, it is always unhappy. In fact, it is said by people who are best able to judge to be the most morbid of beasts.
Oh.
Hunters who are good at tracking are able to follow a Squonk by its tear-stained trail, for the animal weeps constantly. When cornered, an escape seems impossible, or when surprised and frightened, it may even dissolve itself in tears. Squonk hunters are most successful on the frosty moonlit nights when tears are shed slowly and the animal dislikes moving about. It may then be heard weeping under the boughs of dark hemlock trees. Mr. J.P. Wentling, formerly of Pennsylvania but now at St. Anthony Park, Minnesota, had a disappointing experience with a Squonk near Mont Alto.
Damn.
He made a very clever capture by mimicking the Squonk and inducing it to hop into a sack in which he was carrying it home, When suddenly the burden lightened and the weeping had ceased, Wentling unslung the sack and looked in. There was nothing but tears and bubbles.
Oh.
Question.
Yeah.
How big is it?
Like wild pig sized.
Okay.
You could get that into a bag.
You could get that
It was like
into a bag.
javelina sized.
It's like javelina sized,
I
yeah.
don't know. I was thinking he was bigger than that.
No.
He's like a small pig.
I was thinking more of like a big pig or cow size.
No.
Oh no,
No,
he's like
it's
small
small guy.
pig.
Oh.
Like he's a little sad guy.
Oh.
He's a sad little pink pig.
So later retellings included that squonks were slowest on the moonlit night as they tried to avoid seeing their ugly appearance in any illuminated bodies of water. In addition to warts and moles, the creatures were also given webbed toes on their left feet.
Only the left one, so they
Because
can
only
swim in
swim in a
circles.
circle.
So they can swim in circles, and there are, in some of the like lakes of Pennsylvania, there were these like fossils found. And some people would say that it was the bodies of squonks that were swimming in circles and got too tired to continue to swim and drowned because they couldn't get to shore because they were swimming in circles.
I hope you can see
This
this.
is so sad.
Look at him. Look at this little guy.
He's
So-
so sad.
The,
my mouse pad.
The image of the squonk comes from Cox's 1910 book, along with a later illustration by Margaret R. Tryon for her husband Henry H. Tryon's 1939 book Fearsome Critters, has become a key visual reference point for this creature.
Gotcha.
So, like I said, Tryon's 1939 work added the detail that the squonks possessed webbing between the toes, but only on the left feet. This anatomical anomaly, according to Tryon, doomed those squonks forced into swampy habitats, causing them to swim perpetually in circles until they starved, unable to reach shore. A remarkable,
What pathetic little guy.
probably the most remarkable aspect of the squonk legend is the consistency of its core description. From the initial 1910 portrayal through subsequent retellings, the fundamental image of this creature, the fundamental image of a creature miserable due to its warty, ill-fitting skin remains unchanged. Even Tryon's addition, like the webbed feet, supplement rather than alter this core identity. This stands in contrast to most other cryptids, like the Jersey Devil,
Salute.
whose reported appearance varies significantly across different accounts and time periods, encompassing descriptions ranging from kangaroo-like to wyvern-like,
Right.
with differing heads, wings, and other features. This suggests that the squonk's identity is strongly anchored to its initial literary depiction, less susceptible to the variations common in legends transmitted primarily through oral tradition.
Neat.
So the squonk seems to emerge from a pretty specific vein of American folklore known as the quote-unquote fearsome critters,
Right.
fantastical beasts born specifically from the tall tales of lumberjacks in the late 19th and early 20th centuries.
Like the slide rock bolter.
These stories served multiple purposes within the isolated and generally harsh environments of logging camps. They provided entertainment during the long evenings, offered humorous or hyperbolic explanations for strange occurrences in the woods, served as a way to cope with the dangers and hardships of the job, and were sometimes used to haze newcomers or tenderfoots in pranks similar to the infamous snipe hunt. Paul Bunyan and his giant blue ox Babe represent the heroic end of this kind of fearsome creatures spectrum,
Right.
while creatures like the squonk embody more of the bizarre and whimsical side of this lumberjack tale folklore.
I love this.
So a significant boost in the squonk's recognition came from its inclusion in Jorge Luis Borges' highly influential The Book of Imaginary Beings. It was first published in Spanish in 1957 as Manual de Zoología Fantástica. It expanded in 1967 and was translated into English in 1969. Borges, a master of weaving literature and mythological references, essentially reprinted the original paragraph written by Cox
From creatures.
Thereby introducing the obscure Pennsylvanian creature to a global literary audience unfamiliar with the American lumberjack lore.
That's pretty neat.
So the documented history of the Squonk is super heavily entwined with these specific publications. The 1910 book, the 1939 retelling, and then this 1969 global publication.
Gotcha.
Unlike creatures like we talked about, like the Jersey Devil, whose local legend kind of evolved through multiple generations of oral storytelling, local newspapers and like newspaper stories predating standardized depictions, the Squonk's narrative starts in this 1910 book. So while Cox presented it as like this dude has just existed, it's existing folklore.
Yeah.
There's not a ton of verifiable pre-1910 accounts, and by a ton I mean none. There are no
There's not a ton. There's zero.
There's no verifiable sightings or stories of the Squonk before this book, and the subsequent journey through the other literary works makes a really compelling example of how print can codify, popularize, and sometimes even initiate folklore.
Yeah.
Yep.
Some commentators even question whether the legend truly existed among lumberjacks before Cox printed it, suggesting it may lean towards fake lore, invented tradition presented as authentic folklore. Its history is less about tracing ancient oral roots and more about following its path through published text and the cultural imagination.
Neat.
Complementing its dramatic dissolution, back to like the Squonk itself,
Right.
Like complementing its dramatic dissolution is a generally shy and retiring disposition. The Squonk doesn't really want to be found. It doesn't want to be messed with.
Yeah, leave it alone.
It
It's
prefers
sad.
the shadow of twilight and dusk, actively avoiding bright light, and particularly any chance of seeing its own reflection in moonlit pools of water, an encounter that would presumably deepen its already profound misery.
It's so sad.
These behaviors, weeping, dissolving, hiding, are not merely actions, but are presented as direct physical manifestations of the Squonk's internal emotional state. The weeping stems from shame, the dissolution occurs under extreme duress, fear, or capture, and the hiding is rooted in self-consciousness. Unlike the actions of many cryptids, which are often interpreted as predatory or territorial, the Squonk's behaviors are intrinsically linked to its character flaw, its perceived ugliness. This makes the Squonk a potent folkloric symbol of how overwhelming negative self-perception can dictate existence.
That's true.
Leading to withdrawal, constant sorrow, and ultimately a form of self-obliteration.
Yeah.
Its behavior is its essence. So they have given the 1910 book gives a taxonomy for the Squonk. Yes. It is Lacrima corpus dissolvens, made up of Latin tear, body, and dissolve. These refer to its ability to supposedly dissolve upon capture. And then
I was like, I know that like Lake Lacrimore in Lemony Snicket is like Tear Lake.
yeah.
Yeah.
So the Squonk's tears are referenced on Steely Dan's 1974 track "Any Major Dude Will Tell You."
Oh my God.
Genesis included the song "Squonk" on "A Trick of the Tail" in 1976.
Amazing.
And a Squonk is used as a monster in the sixth book of the series Dungeon Crawler Carl, the Eye of the Bedlam Bride.
Amazing.
And then
Hey, this episode specifically is going to do crazy numbers in the SCA circuit.
Squonkapalooza, like we talked about a little bit earlier,
Squonkapalooza
is a Squonk and other Appalachian monster cryptid festival held annually in Johnstown, Pennsylvania. I believe the 2026 festival is like August 2nd or something like that.
We should go. Happy birthday. We should go.
And then there's an artists collective group in Pennsylvania called the Squonk Opera that has been
Holy
around, I think,
shit.
since the 70s or 80s.
That's fun.
And that's really all I have about the Squonk. So please tell me what you've learned.
Oh no,
Tell
hang
me
on.
your thoughts.
I'm getting up. I have 3 books on Pennsylvania cryptids. I
Okay.
want to see if he's in there.
Okay.
He's so sad.
He's so.
What a pathetic little
one
guy.
of the
I feel
articles
so bad.
that I didn't include in this particularly, but I did read, made a really interesting point about why the Squonk has like come back so heavily in modern like contemporary like media and like the forefront of stuff. And it was like because the youth like are sadder and therefore like see themselves in the Squonk, and I was like, I can't include that because this is already like heartbreaking and that'll just make it worse.
Yeah, then we're just taking shots
Then we're
at
just
everybody.
pot shots across the board.
The Squonk is not in my A Field Guide to the Cryptids of North America.
Oh.
Boo.
You know what the vibe he's giving off is? Mike Wazowski.
Mike Wazowski.
Where like I don't know, he gets a sticker put on him.
Yeah.
I know you have a Pennsylvania book somewhere.
I also have a book that's just called Erie because it's like
Erie,
and it's
Pennsylvania.
about Erie, Pennsylvania. But I don't know where I put it.
It might be in your room.
No, it's in here. They're all in here. I just don't know where, like, what I categorized it under. Like, I don't know if it's in folklore or if it's in
Location.
cryptids.
And
Aha, found it.
every like drawing of this, there is an illustration of the Squonk from the original manuscript that I'll pull for social media. It's not cute. I mean, like, it's ugly cute, but it's not cute.
So this is specifically about northwestern Pennsylvania, but we're gonna see if our boy is in here.
The cryptid, as of the day of recording this, which is December 14th, 2025, the December cryptid crate was Squonk themed.
It was. That's
So
why I have that mouse.
I also, because Sarah and I both get it, I have the mouse pad as well. The like t-shirt for this month was a Squonk t-shirt, which I did bring with me, but we had a cold front come through and it's kind of chilly in the house, and I was not about to take my sweatshirt off to put a t-shirt on because I have been cold all day.
It is not in Erie, so now I am looking at I have Pennsylvania Myths and Legends. So we're gonna see if he's in here.
So like
Surely he is.
the Squonk is definitely like making a return to
Popular
media
culture.
and pop culture. But interesting, like it really is an interesting point that like the Squonk has not changed. Like the tradition of the Squonk has like literally not changed in the 116 years that it's been
Crazily
published.
enough, he's not in this book either.
What?
Yeah. Interesting.
Poor guy. He's been left out of everything.
I also have Spooky Pennsylvania, and I have Kirsten Pennsylvania, and I have Folklore of Lake Erie, which is not. That's north, so it's not going to be in that. Setting my mic down.
I'm so sorry.
How dare you?
But yeah.
He's so sad.
He's so sad. And like if you Google the Squonk, there is just not a lot. Like I thought there was gonna be way more, especially because like there's a whole festival about him and like all of that. And I was like, oh, there's gonna be so much for me to find. And then I did the research and I was like, it's
There's
like
nothing.
they haven't changed. Like he hasn't changed. There's not a ton of sightings like documented, and maybe I'm just a bad researcher. There is always that possibility. But like
No, like he truly isn't like. He's no Bigfoot.
He's
Yeah.
no Bigfoot.
And it's like, he's a regional cryptid. He's like a specifically regional cryptid, right? Which is a problem for a lot of the time. Like, it's hard to find stuff. And it's not something that has been, it's not like he's out here doing anything interesting. He's crying and melting into a puddle.
Yeah,
So it's not
he's-
like
he's
it's
not
like he's
highly
been in a
sought
ton of
after.
stuff. So there hasn't been it's not Mothman, right? Mothman is also a specifically regional phenomenon, but it's like, oh, Mothman showed up, scared the shit out of a bunch of people, and then a bridge collapsed.
yeah.
The Squonk's just out here sad about.
He's just out there crying,
He's just a pig in the woods, sad,
sobbing
all
turning
the time,
into a puddle.
crying at all times, refusing to look into puddles, because what if he sees himself
becoming a puddle.
becoming
Can't
a
look at
puddle
his own
himself?
puddle.
Yeah.
Oh goodness.
But yeah, I think that it has become a thing because it's like it's cute and endearing.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's like, oh, that's sad and relatable. Like,
You know, a lot of people our age are very much of the like, I can fix him.
Yeah.
I can make the Squonk happy. I can fix the Squonk's self-image.
Yeah.
I can fix him.
So, I guess, what'd you think? What'd you learn?
I learned a lot. I didn't know that he could melt. He can melt into a puddle.
Yeah, I didn't know he
I
turned
don't know
into
that
puddle.
I don't know that they reform. I think.
Look,
turns
I
into
didn't say
puddle
I
and
didn't say that
die.
he can come back. I did say I didn't know he could melt.
Yeah.
Like that's a. I mean, it sucks if that's like the end of the Squonk's life. I like to think that he turns into a puddle and then at the next new moon he reforms from the tears.
You know,
and goes
I
about
was
a
actually
Squonky
really
way.
fascinated with the fossils you were talking about.
I don't know what they actually were. I don't know what the actual fossil like catalog
Who
is.
knows?
But
But like,
Squonk.
yeah, those are dead
Weird
squonks.
pig fossils.
They just
They
swam
are
themselves
the
to
squonk.
death in circles.
Swam around in a circle, only turning right.
Poor little guys.
Yeah, only turning right. Because this was not doing anything.
I guess that's all you need to know about the Squonk.
Yeah.
Little shorty.
Little
Little shorty, but a goodie.
Little shorty guy.
Join us next week for
An adventure.
An adventure.
Something new.
Uh-huh.
Thanks for listening.
This podcast is for weirdos.
Are you a weirdo?
Thursdays are for the phenomena.